we negotiating? What is the negotiation tactics so that we're not acquiescing to somebody else's agenda but being clear about ours in the process of giving them our support?
Well, I would say the first thing is that it's important to identify what our agenda actually is. And I think that the most important thing for people in this room to understand is that there is a very small window. Right now, the black vote is the most important vote in the country. There's a very small window before our vote's not going to matter. These conferences won't matter, and us sitting here won't matter, because illegal immigration, if you're looking at the numbers, every new birth in this country, 60% of all new births are Hispanic Americans, and the Democrats are about, listen, you're saying, let me get to the point. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it. I say illegal is the new black because it's true, and there's a reason why they're advocating for open borders. Right now, our vote means a lot, but new births of black Americans have stagnated. The population growth within black America has stagnated. So the things that I pay attention to are the numbers. I pay attention to the birth rates in this country, which is why I'm pro putting something down to stop illegal immigration. The second thing that I think is really important, and you may have heard me testify in front of Congress, is the illiteracy rates that are facing black America. 75% of black boys in California can't pass a reading exam. Across Baltimore, they looked at 5 schools, they couldn't find a single black boy that was a single black child that could pass a basic reading or a math exam. So people, I caught a lot of slack because I said, this is a Democrat plantation, but I meant what I said. If you look historically at what the plantations were when we were slaves, there were 3 things that were necessary for them to run. The first was our ignorance. Black Americans were not allowed to learn how to read unless we would have our limbs chopped off. And that was because an educated mind cannot be enslaved. So the fact that our our schools are in this condition in the inner cities and all throughout America, and not a single candidate is talking about it, is problematic to me. I think that that's a huge negotiating tool for me. We need to be talking about the inner city schools. Another component, and this is the biggest issue that I think is facing black America today, which was important to maintaining the plantations, was the breakdown of family. The biggest issue facing black America is father absence. We have children that are growing up without their fathers in the home, and that is being incentivized by the government right now via the welfare system. When the government says we'll give you more money if you don't marry the father of your children, you are incentivizing bad behavior in our community. What happens when you remove a father from the home? This is why I do not mess with feminism at all. I'm not with it. This breakdown and mocking masculinity, making it seem like there's something wrong to be a man, all of this contributes to the breakdown of family. When you remove...
Hey, hold on. So, hold on, brother, hold on. There's going to be an opportunity for each of you to engage, but I want to make sure this sister has the right to talk while she's here. That's why we invited her. So let her say what she needs to say, and then let's keep it moving. Come on, y'all.
The single motherhood rate in the 1960s in black America, and they thought that...
Now, hold on. I want to finish this. This is on your behalf. At a certain point, we can't be assholes. At a certain point, these are black men and women, and in particular, these are black women. On some real G shit. It doesn't matter how you feel about her personally. Everything she has just said, Louis Farrakhan said for the last 25 fucking years. So with no, and I don't know if she's a fan of Farrakhan. I know me and Tamika are. Bam. But you cannot take the truth and be mad at who tells it to you. So just chill, bro. Shut the fuck up. Let her say it and receive the information. That's it. I apologize. I digress.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much for saying what
I want you to continue, because I was listening.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been turned into public enemy number 1. I say the same thing when I hit every stage. The single motherhood rate in the black community in the 1960s, before Lyndon Baines Johnson started the Great Society Act, was 23%. At that time, that was considered very high. 23% of black people growing up without a father in the home. The single motherhood rate in the black community today is 74%. 74% of our children are growing up without a father in the home. It was Barack Obama, who I don't even really have anything for, who told you what happens when you remove a father from the home. You're 9 times more likely to end up in prison. You're 6 times more likely to drop out of high school, and you're 12 times more likely to lead a life of poverty. Why is nobody talking about father absence, and why do we keep being silenced when we actually do? This is what black conservatism is, by the way. It's really not. It's not that controversial.
So Tip, I'm gonna let you come in a second, but I want to make sure I get Katrina in here, and then we're gonna open this up a little bit, because at some point I hear all of this, but the issue is we still got to elect people and we still got to create power from the local level, state, and national. And so there's a plan that has to be at play for us to be able to deal with some of this stuff. So Katrina, I want to hear from you as you've been engaged in this current administration. What is it about this administration that makes you so confident that it has the ability to deliver what a black community that this president is often in opposition to can't?
Well, I think that's a great question. It leads to what I said was the biggest gap in the black community, and that is this vacuum of leadership. When I first met President Trump, and I had heard him years before he actually ran for office talk about certain things that I felt were really important to me as a black mother, not just as an American or as a voter. But what he has done since he's been elected is he's proven himself. He has given more money to HBCUs. He just eliminated $300 million of debt from hurricane relief from HBCUs, just gave them another $100 billion more on top of what no one wants to talk about, like those at MSNBC and CNN, are opportunity zones. There are 9,000 opportunity zones that was established by the Trump administration, including probably 24 counties right here in Atlanta, in this state, in Fulton County, where he has put up hundreds of billions of dollars of investment into black communities. Not just impoverished communities, but black communities. And to me, you put your money where your mouth is. This president has done that. So what you should do, all the young people in the room, we've heard we don't have a voice. We hear disenfranchisement. Well, guess what? Who has been in charge of these communities for the last 4 to 5 decades?
Democrats.
Exactly.
So wait a minute, no, wait, because I'm loving where we're going. I'm loving where we're going. And I love the fact that, to me, promise zones sound a whole lot like empowerment zones from the Clintons. And neither party delivered on making sure that legitimate development took place in our communities. And so I'm interested, Tip, in you coming in, especially on this economic piece.
Sure.
How do we begin to really deal with that? Because the federal government creating zones has normally been the places where gentrification starts first.
Okay, so that was my point. I had a question for both of you young ladies, and you and Candace, we spoke many times, and you're a brilliant young lady. But my question to you is, how is it that you can support yourself? I mean, that you can support and align with a constituency that will not denounce white supremacy? So that means your son or daughter, or any of your brothers or any of your family members, if they are caught out there by a policeman who is in a covert, undercover white supremacist and get gunned down, this constituency will have absolutely nothing to say about it.
Please let me answer this question. Please let me answer this question.
And we can't, and although what you're saying is a lot of the things that you're saying are absolutely factual, a lot of the things that you're saying have merit, but I can't even get to that before I address
I will address
the
it right now. I will address it right now.
Lives,
I love it.
You will not speak up on it at all.
Love this question. I will address it.
All of the things that you spoke on, from opportunity zones.
I love that we're talking about white supremacy.
Okay,
I'll answer the question.
I say, excuse me. I didn't interrupt you.
You're right.
If I may. You're talking about opportunity zones, and I will never have anything negative to say about the financial benefits, the tax breaks that come from the Republican Party. I'm a rich person, and I appreciate. You dig what I'm saying?
I'm Negro rich.
Hey, listen. I appreciate all of the different tax breaks and the opportunity zone benefit, but
It's called a crooked clock is right twice a day.
You're right. I get that, but what we must understand when we're talking about opportunity zone, and we're giving the credit to the person who pushed that legislation forward, which it started with Tim Scott, a black man who happens to be a Republican out of South Carolina. That's who wrote the legislation and presented it. However, the present president, if you can call him that, he did allow it to go through. But that in order to benefit from opportunity zones, you have to have capital gains taxes. It ain't many black people in these opportunity zones
But they
that
have
have
jobs.
capital gains taxes
It's
to
jobs.
be able to reap the benefits of these things. Therefore, it will be billionaire corporations, other people who ain't from these communities, coming in here building shit that we don't need, doing shit that don't help us, but they do that so they can shelter their taxes. Now, I've been investing in opportunity zones all my motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be damned if anybody gonna benefit from it, it ain't gonna be me. So, but I actually know the need of the community. You have these systems in place, but the people who have the most ability to take advantage and who are readily able to take advantage are the people who have absolutely no genuine interest to do anything to support this community that they're coming into. There's no real tangible investment. They're just doing it to shelter their tax dollars.
So thank you, Tip. Well, hold on, Katrina. I want Candace to talk about your first point,
Yeah.
and then Katrina, you respond to the second point.
All right, so to tackle the white supremacy thing, your question was a fallacy because you said you insinuated that he has not denounced white supremacy.
He hasn't.
Somebody please, go to his Twitter feed right now. Right now,
He
go
said,
back to
"Who
the
is the
shootings.
KKK?"
He said, no, because we gotta tell the truth.
He said, "Who is the
No,
KKK?"
now you're cutting me off, right? There we go, now we're even.
What he said was that.
So listen.
What he said was that there was good.
No, let me finish. Stop. Because you guys are so hung up on Charlottesville
he said.
and nobody heard the entire clip. I want to talk about why we get manipulated. I'm being serious, guys. I'm not even trying to make this like a contentious moment because this is literally why Black America loses right here.
Why?
Because we
'Cause we're
allow
stupid?
people with cameras to go hear a whole speech, like they do this to me all the time. They take out a couple of sentences you said and they create a whole new headline, and people that were not there get incensed and get emotional and don't actually go back to hear what was actually said in full context. They do it to me all the time. I know they do it to Trump. He has denounced white supremacy so many times. It's something north, somebody counted, of 24 times, and it's on his Twitter feed. So if you want to fact check me, go back to a couple of weeks ago when the shootings happened. He said America is no place for white nationalism and white supremacy, and it's an issue that has to be tackled. I'm paraphrasing, you can go find it. So
Although
why is
he
that
calls
first?
himself a nationalist.
Secondly,
He calls himself a
Stop. You can fact check me. I'm either lying to your face, you can go on Twitter right now. You can do it live.
So which one do you want us to believe? The first thing he says or what he says after the media comes after
No, I'm
him?
talking about
Because the first thing he said was that there
Tamika,
was.
you're asking a different question than T.I. did. T.I.
Okay.
said, how can you work with an administration that has never denounced white supremacy? You're talking about
I'm
Charlottesville?
talking about talking points that come out later. But what he starts with is racism. That's what comes out his mouth when he starts. See?
And let me tell you something. And let me tell you why the black vote is the easiest vote for Democrats to keep for the last 60 years. All they have to do to get our vote, let me tell you something. If people know what you fear, you are the easiest person to control. The Democrats have figured out that Black America is emotionally responsive to the word racism. She says racism, you jump up and you start cheering. You haven't even listened to what I've said to rebut it, okay?
Cheer. But it's the
100%.
wait,
The
hold
biggest
on.
issue, let me finish. The biggest issue facing Black America is not white supremacy. When Trump said there were good people on both sides, he was talking about the fact that some people that were in the Charlottesville rally, and he could have paraphrased that better, he could have said something better, literally came there because they don't believe that statues should be torn down, okay? Other people came there because they were upset that amongst the people that came there to watch the statue be torn down were also white nationalists. So what he meant was there were some people that were just there using their First Amendment right. There were some people that were there to respond to the white nationalists, and a big mess happened. I'm not trying to defend him or relitigate a situation. I'm saying that being hung up on that is allowing you to not look at an administration that is tackling so many issues in Black America right now. I do not consider myself a Republican. I definitely am not a Democrat, but Trump woke me up. I used to be liberal. Trump woke me up to the idea that we're being manipulated by the word racism every 4 years.
So wait.
Every 4